Let's see some of the previous names of Puja Gurudev and add one more to it. Om Pavakaya Namaha. Om Purushottamaya Namaha. Om Prasannatmane Namaha. Sakti Rahitaya Namaha. Om Bhavaktaya Namaha. Om Bandhamochakaya Namaha. Brahmanishthaya Namaha. Om Brahmaparaya Namaha. Om Brahmaparaya Namaha. Brahmapara, he is called. Brahmapara means, for such a person, for such a great sage, there is nothing in this world which is greater than Brahman, the absolute reality. Other things may be there, but there is nothing there, nothing greater. In our life, we have all sorts of things there to us except God. But for such a sage, there is nothing there than the absolute reality, the infinite, limitless God, Lord. And he has only one goal, one desire, to revel in that absolute reality all the time. How cheaply we sell our lives, Our lives, we revel only in all the little things in life. Since we sell our life for nothing. But he wants that absolute reality, wants to revel in that only, nothing else. This should be the goal of all sadhakas. If this is the goal, there will be no trouble in spirituality. But in spirituality is where all the troubles are. In the temples are where all the troubles are. You know that. I don't know about this one, but I know I'm speaking in general. Look, just yesterday only somebody asked me in Tobago. They were asking me, in the airport. So you don't go to such and such temple in New York anymore? I said, no, I don't go. I know why you don't go. They telling me no. I said, how you know? They said, Swamiji, we have kuchu, I don't go. Like that. So, but you see, people go there not with God as the supreme goal. The furthest thing from their mind. They go there, social objective, power, little kind of politics, this, that, that kind of thing. Get a position, go and show off something a little bit. New clothes, new appointment, new this. One lady asking her, she husband, did you see Mrs. Jones get a new hat today? After they come back from church. Did you see Mrs. Jones get a new hat today? No, husband said, I didn't see. You saw Henry's shoe was shining so nice. The husband said, no, I didn't see. Did you see the pastor got a new suit? No, I didn't see. I don't know why you guys go to church for. So you see what's going on? People miss the point. altogether. For such a sage, there's only one thing that is worthwhile, and that is to revel in the absolute reality is called as Brahmapara. Brahmapara. Brahma is para, Brahma is beyond, but Brahma supersedes, Brahma is worth everything. Brahma only is the worthwhile thing. Brahmapara, it supersedes everything for him. Alright, now if you are joining us for the first time, we are seeing chapter 11 of Srimad Bhagavad Gita. It is called as Vishwarupa Darshana Yoga. What is the meaning of Vishwarupa? Vishwarupa means cosmic form. Darshana means vision. Vishwarupa Darshana, vision of the cosmic form, and it's called yoga. Why? Because after Arjuna saw it, Arjuna realized, oh, this is the Lord, and you see, he himself, you will see just now, he himself calls Bhagavan Sarva. Bhagavan in Hinduism it is only in Hinduism you will find Bhagavan is called as Sarva. Sarva means all. So you could, nowadays on social media and email and people say, Hari Om all. Are you saying that? Nowadays people are using it when they're sending a message to everybody. But that all is only people in Chinmay Mission or Sai organization or temple when you send to your list, isn't it? We call your email list. So that all only means all our people. Here you will see just now Arjuna calls Bhagavan all. You will not see it anywhere else. Oh all. When Arjuna says all there, he means, like Bhagavan said in 7th chapter, Vasudeva Sarvamiti. Bhagavan is everything in this world. There is nothing in this universe which is not divine. Your eyes may see otherwise, but there is nothing in this universe which is not God. And that is why we saw Bhagavan giving Arjuna what we call a vision of the good side of Prakriti, and he also gave him a vision of what we call the bad side of Prakriti. So good and bad is only of relative importance, which you have to adhere to at the superficial level. If you go deeper into anything in this universe, you end up in God. You end up in absolute reality. And that point of view, from that standpoint, there is nothing good or bad. And there are several places we have seen so far where it's Shubha Phale Revam. We have to become free from good as well as Shubha and Ashubha. In this Gita will come again in 13th chapter. So Arjuna got this darshana of Bhagavan, and through that darshana Arjuna came to realize his own oneness with God, because he saw everything in God. See, everything is in God, everything is in the absolute reality, including myself. Then we are one with God. That kind of vision. That's why I call it yoga. It brought Arjuna to himself, to his oneness with God. United Arjuna with himself, or united Arjuna with God. That vision. Okay. And he showed him some very interesting sights also. That all the Kauravas were thinking you are going to kill. You don't worry, you are not killing anybody. See now. You, Jiva, an insignificant being who doesn't even exist in the grand scheme of things, you think you could control anything in this world? You cannot even control your own destiny. How you control the destiny of other people? Arjuna thought he was going to kill all the Kauravas, kill Drona, kill Bhishma, kill, he was thinking like that. You don't even have your own destiny in your hand. You think you have a destiny of these people in your hand? There also, in this type of vision, what happens is one comes to discover one's insignificance. We do not even fit here in the grand scheme of things. In an infinite universe with infinite time and space, infinite objects and planets and stars and suns. Look here, on this earth, there are 7 continents, right? 7 continents. You are existing on one of those, I don't know which continent we are existing on no continent too. How bad we they? Things so bad. We can't even identify which continent we are. Which continent we on? South America? Of the 7 continents, you are on one. And that continent, there are so many countries. Out of all those countries, you are still on one. In that country, Trinidad and Tobago is only a mere dot on the map. We start off with a dot. The whole country. Then, in that country, there are so many counties. We happen to be now in St. Patrick, I think. St. Patrick County, there are so many towns and villages, and we're in one town, Pinal. In that town, there are so many roads, streets, avenues. We have one road. And there's one road, there are so many houses, plots. In one plot. In this one plot, there are so many seats. The one temple, so many seats, and you're occupying one seat. Some people half a seat. On this earth, we don't fit here. On this earth, we don't fit here. Our earth, in the grand scheme, in this infinite space, our earth doesn't fit. Our sun doesn't fit here. What are you talking about? And the sun is so many times bigger than the earth. Where are we? So Arjuna is saying, I am the great student of Dronacharya, the best student. And when he got this Virat Roop Darshan Bhagwan in his infinite manifestations with so many countless things transpiring simultaneously across this vast limitless universe, he found that he amounted to nothing. That is when one comes to terms with oneself. True self. Prior to that, we are coming to terms with our ego only. I am the great student of Dronacharya, nobody greater than me. Which was demonstrated previously, When there was a yajna and they invited everybody, and one Mahatma did not come. Arjuna said, oh, he didn't come, don't worry, I am Arjuna, I'll go bring him. I am the well-known famous Arjuna, I'll go bring him. He went there, the Mahatma said, who are you? He said, oh Mahatma, you don't recognize me, I am Arjuna. I came to bring you to the yajna. He told Arjuna, you go back and tell all your people there, I don't go to people's yajnas. Arjuna also could not move him. So we saw in past in Arjuna's life, he was feeling so much about himself. Now when he got this Virat Roop Darshan, means the individual self, the ego, that is reduced to zero. The E had to go. E is for ego. That E had to go. What remains is Bhagwan only. Kabir Das ji tells at one place. Jab main tha, tab Hari nahi. When I was there was no God. Because see the next line. Jab main tha, tab Hari nahi. When I was there, Hari was not there. Ab Hari hai, main nahi. Now only God is there, I am not there. He says, Prem ki gali ati sakari, tame do na samai. The path of love, the gully of love, the alley of love, the path of love is very narrow. It has space for two. Only one could fit. So if you there, Bhagwan there, and if Bhagwan there, then you not. In these who say what? We have to merge with Bhagwan. Arjuna's individuality, his individual ego, got totally demolished in the vision of this one vast, limitless God who is in charge of all things. And that he saw all the Kauravas, they all dead, all of them, they perished. He got the vision of past, present, and future. And Bhagavan tells, we saw last night, the previous night, all these Kauravas and all, they're already dead. You, Yashoda Lavaswa, you get up and take the, I have already signed them off. You get up and take the fame. Telling Arjuna, Nimitta matra bhavesya visachin. You just become an instrument. Let my work happen. Let my work go on. I have already killed them. You become the instrument for them to close their eyes. Like that. And this is what is going on in this 11th chapter. So what is happening? When the individual ego has been removed, see, now this is a philosophical thing. When the individual ego has been removed, then only the person will be able to see through the eyes of God. And in the eyes of God, he is the controller of all things. Once the individual ego is there, the individual feels he is in control of all things. Once our ego is retained, we feel that we are doer, karta, bhokta, enjoyer, agent, all that kind of thing. We are the doer. We are the masters of the universe. Once the ego is there. And people spend their whole lifetime, instead of making that ego dissipate, making that ego vanish, people spend their whole lifetime building that ego. But the higher you climb, the harder you fall. You have to be careful with this. Building this ego our whole life. You know the difference between falling from a coconut tree and falling from a bed? When the higher you climb, the harder you fall. But what is the difference between falling from a coconut tree and falling from a bed? Falling from a coconut tree is dump. Falling from a bed, dump. Isn't it? As sadhaks, we should take that resolution. Instead of using this lifetime to build that ego, build, make that ego fat, we should spend this life. This is what a sadhak, this is what distinguishes a sadhak from an ordinary worldling. He spends his lifetime thinning out that ego, making it dissipate, disappear. Slowly. Spend his lifetime doing that. Now, Bhagavan taught him and he gave him this vision, and that ego got removed. When the individual ego is removed, then we can see through the eyes of God. And when we see through the eyes of God, he sees what happened to the Pandavas and Kauravas, and some of his own Pandava people also. He saw both. So now, when we left it yesterday, we left it at 37. Etat chutva vachanam keshavasya kritanjali dvepamana kiriti namaskritva bhuya eva krishnam. Yes, 35 finished. Then Arjuna uvacha. Then Arjuna, when he got this vision of Bhagavan, he himself was beside himself. It means this vision shook the living daylight out of him, as we say. This vision took away that what you call hitherto what he had. He was standing on his own 2 feet. Bhagavan remove that ego like that. Now there are several things which are happening there which need also explanation. But good thing, look here, and one more thing I must tell you. You know, when we study this Bhagavad Gita, I see my Guru Bhai Shri Ravi Bharati sitting down there. You could ask him also. First year, we were studying all different types of texts and all that kind of thing. And one day Acharya, he said, That is all only to get ourselves prepared to study Gita. You study all those things to get prepared to study Gita. And for 1 year you are at it. So I want you to also remember that here today, one day in Lachus Road, you're not going to get all Gita like that, eh? You will get some snippets from Bhagavad Gita, some things to make you think. So as I am going along, you have to go on thinking. Bhagavad Gita is not to be read like, Ramayana, like a story or something. Bhagavad Gita is for you to mull over and to go on ruminating, pondering on. Okay. So you will see many verses and ideas. You will have to go on thinking. Tvamadeva Purusha Puranaha Tamasya Vishwasya Param Nidhanam. You are the repository. Arjuna now is himself praising Bhagavan. And Vetasi Vedyam Cha Param Cha Dhama. You are the thing to be known, the one thing to be known in this world. Now we have to see from 39 he continues to praise Bhagavan. Now that he has seen Bhagavan in his vastness, in his limitless forms. See. Vayuryamogni varuna shashankha. Vayuryamogni varuna shashankha. Prajapatisvam prapitamahascha. Namo namastestu sahasrakritvaha. Punascha bhuyopi namo namaste. Nama purastadatha prishtadhaste. Namostute sarvata eva sarva. Ananta viryamita vikramasvam. Sarvam samapnoshi tatosi sarvaha. Sarvam samapnoshi tatosi sarvaha. Vayuhu, you are Bhagavan now is everything. See, this idea had started way down in second chapter. Maya tatamidam sarvam. In 9th chapter also, that Maya tatamidam sarvam. All things are pervaded by me. I told you in Vedanta, that means all things is me. I am everything. Matta parataram na anyat kinchidasti. There is nothing other than me. Vasudeva sarvamiti. Vasudeva is everything in this world. This is the teaching of Vedanta, the Upanishads and Gita. God is everything. There is only one thing in the universe. You may see many things, but there is only one thing. That is because our eye, I told you, it is our eyes that blind us. Because of our eyes, we see a variety and we forget the unity in and amongst the variety. The eyes cause that variety decorated nicely in 7 colors and all different shades of those 7. You know how 100 shades of grey. What is it? There are 100 shades of everything, na? Kya baat hai, see? How much shades of grey? 50 shades of grey. Okay, sorry, sir. I overshot the grey there by a little bit. So, the eyes make us see all these shades and colors and we forget the unity. So now, he is now Vayuhu, he is the wind. Arjuna said, Prabhu, you are the wind. Vayuhu, Yamaha. Yamaha is not a motorcycle, eh? Yamaha means the Lord of Death himself. Yamaha. Agnihi, you are fire. Varunaha, we saw Varunaha. Varuna means Lord of all the waters. Shashanka. Shashanka means you are the moon. itself. He is everything like Prajapati Stvam, Prajapati, he, the Lord of all creatures and all beings, the progenitor of all beings and creatures. Prajapati, or the father of all beings and all like that. Prapitamahascha, and you are also the grandfather, means you are the originator of all things. And Arjuna gets so reverential in the next verse, in the next line. So nice. Namo Namaste. People ask all of these questions. These are all Sanskrit rules only, little thing. Namo and Namaha is same. Namo and Namaha is same, exactly same. No difference in just some Sandhi rules are there in Sanskrit, so you have to just write it in one way. When it appears here, you write it like this. When it appears there in the next context, you write it like Namaha. When it appears in some other place, Namaste. See? So you see, like that, you have to write it differently depending on where it appears. But Namaste and Namahate and Namote, they all one same. Namo Namaste Astu Sahasrakritvaha. Salutations to you again and again in thousands and in thousands of salutations to you. Arjuna tells Bhagavan, Punaha Bhuyo. Punaha. See, he himself, he doesn't know what to say now. You know, sometimes when you're so happy, you don't know what to say. What to do? And so, people develop new things every day because they feel that the old routine is stale. So they started development. Now, when people, anything great happens to them, they have a happy dance. People have a happy dance, isn't it? So they start a dance and all. The happy dance. So Arjuna, Punaha means again, Bhuyaha, again, Api, also, again and again, Namo Namaste, he himself tells. Salutations. When he came to realize that this is Lord, infinite Lord of the universe himself, he can't stop doing salutations. Punaha again, Bhuyaha again. Salutations to you. Namah Purastad. Salutations from the front. Prishthaste. Prishthastaha. Salutation from behind. Namostate Sarvata Eva. Salutations from all sides. Oh Sarva? Oh, this is where the verse I was telling you about. Sarvata Eva Sarva. Salutations from all sides. Oh all. Because you are all, I have to salute you from all sides. That is Tulsidasi, right? You know? What is that? Tulsidasi also comes to the same realization. She was singing the praises and glories of Bhagavan Shri Ram, and he writes in his very famous verse, which all of you know. Tulsidas realized that Bhagavan is everything in this world, and so when a person realizes that, you see, this is the directives to the Shastras, and this is what you see clearly in the Shastras. When a person realizes that, he has no choice but to put his hands together and do salutations, do pranam, do prostrations. What else do you do? So Arjuna now realizing that Bhagavan is Bhagavan had told, but he didn't realize, Bhagavan had told there, but he didn't realize. Now he saw for himself that the Lord is everything. Sarvata namosute sarvata eva sarva. Prostration, salutations to you from all sides, because you are all. Oh, all. Ananta virya amita vikramasthvam. Ananta virya amita vikramahatvam. You are of infinite power. And amita vikrama, invincible, of infinite power and infinite greatness. Unconquerable. Who in this world could ever touch you? Sarvam samapnoshi tatosi. He gives now a philosophical line. Most philosophical line given by Arjuna. Sarvam samapnoshi tatosi sarvaha. This is what I was telling previously. This is that I told you in Vedanta, there are many technical things that you will have to learn, Let's go like the building blocks of Vedanta. So one technical thing, what? Sarvam samapnoshi. You pervade everything. Therefore, tataha asi sarvaha. You are everything. This is Vedanta at its core. It is the what you call the fundamentals of Vedanta. Why we say that God is everything? Because God pervades everything. And the other way when you read that, to why we say, when we say that God pervades everything, what we mean is God is everything. Please pay attention. This is a very, very important point in Hinduism. Because in other religions, when they say that God is here, there and everywhere, they do not mean that God is everything. And you should not say that all religions are same. They are certainly not same. Not by any stroke of imagination. Moksha, mukti, enlightenment is something totally different in Hinduism from other religions. The concept of God is something totally different. The concept of creation, totally different. Why do people go on saying all religions are same? They are not, I told you, not even by a stroke of imagination. They are not same. People say, but Swamiji, why are you teaching discord? Why don't you teach unity? So you want to lie them. And the morality which people say is the same is also not same. Look, I tell you, morality is derived from metaphysics. How is that? I'll show you. In Hinduism, God is everything. That means every single thing in this world is reverential. Everything is divine. That's why Hindus worship stones, Hindus worship trees, animals, the sky, the sun, the moon, the earth, Mother Earth. We do Prithvi Mata Puja. In other religions, no such thing. The earth is there to loot and plunder and ravage and take, destroy and enjoy as much as you want. Nothing is divine. How you sense the religions are same? All of this bringing one is one simple line, which is coming out from the mouth of Arjuna. He is echoing the Shastras. Sarvam samapnoshi tatosi sarvaha. You pervade everything. Therefore everything is you. And that gives a divine vision in the eyes of the devotee. That nothing is to be disrespected on the earth. See, what is going on with the earth? The icebergs are melting. Water coming to get you, Many parts of many islands that are low-lying already disappeared. Go down to Ikakas and you will see. Yes. That's why I say I spend more time in the mountain. So, many religions for too long have taught about looting and plundering this earth. This earth is there for the go forth and enjoy. The earth belongs to you. That means you ravage, plunder, loot, take as much as you want. Hinduism never taught any such thing. Dhati Mata is reverential. all the things on the earth also because of this, see these type of lines. So he tells Prabhu, you are everything because you pervade everything. That line can be read both ways, as I told you just now. Yeah? When we say that God pervades everything, we mean God is everything. The most wonderful line from this 11th chapter. Then continue. Sakheti matva prasabham yaduktam. He Krishna, he Yadava, he Sakheti. Ajanata mahimanam tavedam. Maya pramadat pranayena vapi. Yacchavaha sartham asatkritosi. Viharashayyasana bhojaneshu. Ekotavapya chuta tat samaksham. Gacchamaye tvamaham aprameyam. Gacchamaye tvamaham aprameyam. Two things happen when we discover truth. When we discover this type of truth which we are talking about, and you see, even in ordinary life, I tell you, suppose you're telling somebody, well, the neighbor buy a cow, right? Then that person telling you, no boy, the neighbor buy a bull. You going on, the neighbor buy a cow, and the person tell you the neighbor buy a bull. Now, the more vehement you are about your point of view, when you come to discover that it is really a bull, that time you feel more sorry or not? You feel ashamed too, isn't it? Yeah. First of all, the other fella win you. Second of all, I so stupid, me and you different between a cow and a bull. Huh? And I went on arguing. So one of the things that happens when a person really comes to discover the truth is, in the case of God, he becomes so reverent. It means he immediately becomes so humble and prostrates profusely. That you see very clearly here, right? Because this is the Lord of the universe. He who makes even me tick. I used to think that, I am making things happen. So that reverence develops, that deep and profound reverence immediately takes over his heart. The second thing that happens, and which is happening, is this exactly will happen in life. For those who just give a little bit of thought, you will see this is exactly how it happens also. Now, he becomes so apologetic. Immediately he becomes so apologetic because he realizes that, my God, I was poking fun all this time at the Lord of the universe. So now he goes into so many lines of apology. Sorry for what he had done in the past. And we will get that. You also tell the person, what happened to you? You're blind or what? Is a cow. Or a bull or whatever your point was, right? And you're insulting the person also. You're blind or what? Then you realize you were the one who were blind. So he tells, Sakheti matva prasabham yaduktam. whatever I did, whatever I said, considering you to be a mere friend, sakha iti, matva means considering, thinking, having thought you to be a mere friend, whatever you whatever I said, without reverence, without prasava means, harshly, rashly, I have said things, to you, thinking that you were just an ordinary being. He tells Krishna, no. I would have called you, hey Krishna, hey Yadav, hey Sakha, when I should have been calling you Sarva. I should have been calling you all. I should have been calling you Jagadishvara. I should have been calling you Paramatma, Parabrahma. I should have been calling you this. I will call you Krishna. Yadav. We call him Yadav. Sometimes you must call him Yadu too. Because in India there is short name, yeah. Pappu. They like all these short things. Munna. So I called you all of these names. Look. Ajanata Mahimanam Tavedam. Not knowing your greatness, not knowing your majesty, your glory, not knowing all. I have done it. Maya Pramadat, because of my own inadvertence, ignorance. Pramad actually means ignorance. Inadvertence. Because of that, Pranayena Vapi, in my haste, in my ignorance, I call you out of disrespect, I would have. Yacha avahasartham, or poking fun at you. That's what friends do now. We poke fun at other friends just to laugh. Asatkritaha asi, treating you without the proper protocol and courtesy, and that is asatkritaha. I would have done all of these things. When? Vihar, when we were playing outside. Vihar, Shaya. Shaya means when we are sleeping. When you are sleeping, you take a ferrana, poke your hair. All the playing like all will never do all this. All never do? Oh, no. Only I do? Asana, sitting. When you were sitting, your friend going to sit, you pull the chair. So while playing, while sleeping, while sitting, bhojana issue, while eating. When here all finished, all just go and ask Ravi Bharati ji that thing. In ashram, anytime he get any sweet, I only tell, hey, look Acharya calling, look, when you watch all his sweet, oh. I don't know how much sweet I owe he. So bhojan is while eating all sorts of things, How many things I have done to you, Prabhu? Viharashaya sana bhojaneshu ekaha athava api achyuta tatsamaksham. Whether I did these things, poked fun at you, disrespected you, didn't offer the proper courtesy to you, whether I did it, ekaha means in private, while we alone were there, or tatsamaksham means in front of all people in public. I would have belittled you in public also, not knowing that you are the Lord of the universe. Tat kshamaya Prabhu. Please forgive me for all of those things. Tvam aham kshamaya means you forgive me. Tvam aprameyam. Still now he's even though he has gotten Viratud Darshan, he's telling he's immeasurable, unthinkable. My mind cannot conceive your greatness. You just gave me a small little darshan. But you're aprameyam. Without, so Aprameyam comes from, I told you, from ma. Ma means to measure. Measure means to conceptualize. To find the boundaries of. To delimit, like that. With the mind, to delimit. Ma. But you are aprameyam. Immeasurable. Cannot be delimited. Conceived by the mind. You are, he continues. Pitasi lokasya characharasya Tamasya pujyascha gurugariyan Natvat samostya bhyadika kutonyaha Lokatrayepya pratitap pratima prabhava Tasmat pranamya pranidhayakayam Prasadaye tvamahamishamiriam Piteva putrasya sakheva sakhihe Priyapiyayarhati devasohum Priyapiyayarhati devasohum Pitasi lokasya, you are the father of the whole universe, characharasya, of all moving and unmoving, living and dead. There must be father for dead things also, eh? Like for example this this stamba, this little pillar, right? If somebody made it, he's the father. And then there's an overall father for the whole universe. Pita lokasya characharasya pitasi. You are the father. Tamasya pujyascha gurugariya. What a nice line it is. You are worshipable even more than the guru. Because after all, he is guru, you know. And you see, there will be so many gurus, but Bhagwan is all of them. You will have your own guru, and you will have your own guru, and you will respect your guru, and you will not respect the other person's guru. But all guru is Bhagwan only. Guru may differ, but Bhagwan is still one of. That's why we see in the Shastras, everywhere. He is, so we sing now. Here in our what you call Gita Dhyanam also. Jagat Guru. Bhagwan is Jagat Guru, law of the Guru of the whole universe. In Ramayana also Tulsidas starts that Mangalacharan, calling Lord Shiva as Guru of the whole world. So Bhagwan is worshipable even more than the Guru. Natvat samaha. There is nobody who is equal to you. Then there might be somebody who is greater than him, you know. So immediately tells. Asti abhyadika kusaha anyaha. There is no one who can even reach you. What to talk of somebody who is beyond you, greater than you. No one equal, coming close even to be equal to you. Lokatraye api apratima prabhava. In the three worlds also, your greatness and your glory, the greatness and glory and majesty and might of God could never be estimated. In the three worlds also, can never be known how great. See, we walk around and see all this is coming after Arjuna got Virat Roop Darshan. Please pay attention to that. For a person now who has experienced this thing, one who has gotten Virat Roop Darshan, he is telling that God cannot be estimated. Because whatever vision he got is only a small little. And we walk around with all sorts of crazy concepts in our head about God, and we kill people for it too. That is what's going on in this world today. And all the killing which is going on in the world today is because our people walk around with all sorts of crazy ideas of God. Some people say God is a jealous God. Meaning to say what? You have to worship He alone. And if you don't worship He, your dogs dead. What type of concept of God? That God is a jealous God, that He gives you such a command that if you don't worship Him, He could strike you on the head with a thunderbolt or something? See, all the ideas people have of God. Yeah. See, we are here today in this Lachuz Road Sai Center. You read through all the complete works of Bhagwan Baba, and you tell me anywhere where Baba say He will strike you, He will do this to you, He will do that to you. You have any such thing anywhere? Not even thinkable. Not even thinkable. And people walk around with all sorts of crazy ideas in here that God is this and God is that, and such violent words are put in the mouth of God. That is man-made religion. People make up things and put in the mouth of God. So, here Arjuna is telling now, this Bhagwan is idiom worshipable out of love, not out of fear. Out of love. Arjuna is the one who's got this darshan, and he's saying this Lord is immeasurable. Your mind cannot begin to estimate the grandeur and glory and expanse of God. One who's gotten the vision. Then you with some little concept. One ant was sitting on the ear of an elephant. On the ear. Another ant, a flea sitting in the air. You know, they live in the air, them dogs running. He lived in the air of an elephant. The elephant came to a bridge, and the bridge looking rickety, you know. Rickety is a word? The bridge looking rickety. So the elephant watched. I said, I wonder if I could walk over this bridge, boy. But anyway, the elephant take a chance, and he walked on the bridge. And the bridge broke, and the elephant fell down in the river below, 20 or 30 feet. But fortunately, there was enough water. So he meant to take the impact of the falling elephant. And he swam out. And here the flea at the end of the whole ordeal. I tell you, the bridge couldn't take 2 hours wait. Why did you You didn't listen to me. He feel he too. Three elephant walking down the road, and like this in the top they holding up a 4th elephant. 3 of them walking down the road holding a next one, right? Going down the road. So a little ant he following. This is well one of the ant. I say ant in that one. A ant following, he going behind. So somebody sees this ant following this procession. Not procession. This whatever it is. Right? So they ask that ant, where are you going? Why are you following them elephant? Carrying that elephant? He said, no. That fellow where they carrying it, he's sick. They carrying him in the hospital. I going to donate blood. Though there is a nice thought, and what the idea is, though there may be some nice thought behind it, right? He could donate blood for this fella. He see the needle here, got no blood that time. You know what I was saying in Trinidad, cut me, no? When he's sitting neatly over like that. So, we should not feel, we are such, we know all about God. We are so great. My intellect is so bright. I know everything about God. The height of conceit it is. So therefore, throw this 11th chapter for a person who just got that Virat Rup Darshan. Aprameyam, apratima prabhavam. Your greatness and glory is immeasurable, inestimable. Inestimable, correct? Sound correct? Hmm? Therefore, your word, apratima prabhavam, cannot be estimated, your greatness. Tasmat, therefore, Prabhu, paramya, I will bow to you, pranidhaya kayam, I prostrate my body, I bow down my body to you. Prasadaye, please be gracious unto me. Tvam, aham, isham, idiom. You are my worshipable Lord. I worship you now. This idiom word is the most lovely word. It's an adorable Lord. Adorable Lord. One who should be adored. Piteva putrasya sakheva sakyuhu. Just like a father will forgive a son. A father will forgive, Arjuna given the example, so the example will not be a perfect example also. A father will forgive a son. Every father always ready to forgive his son. So sakheva sakyu, like a friend will forgive a friend. Priya priyaya hasideva sodhum, like a lover will forgive a beloved. Oh God, Deva, sodhum, please forgive me, please bear with me, which in effect means, please forgive me. But for doing all of these foolish things in my ignorance, how many bad things I have done, without knowing that you are the Lord of the universe. Adrishta purvam hrishitosmi drishtva bhayena chat pravyat. Then he tells, Prabhu, this vast vision of yours, it has shaken my mind also. My mind is not capable of bearing it. See, adrishta purvam hrishitosmi drishtva bhayena cha pravyapitam mano me tadeva me darshaya deva rupam prasida devesha jagannivasa kiritinam gadinam chakrahastam ichhami tvam drashtumaham tatheva teneva rupena chaturbhujena sahasrabaho bhava vishwamurte sahasrabaho bhava vishwamurte adrishta purvam hrishitaha asmi drishtva. I am very, very happy to have gotten this darshan from you, which had hitherto not been seen by anyone. I am so happy to have gotten Rishitaha asmi drishtva, having seen it. But Prabhu, even though I am happy to see it, it also instills fear in my heart. Like you see, I tell you, we have this type of experiences. When I saw Niagara Falls for the first time, I was happy to see Niagara Falls. But me going close there too, it also instills fear at the same time. Many things like that. Like in CN Tower, in that CN Tower, they have a part of the floor that is glass, right? So you have to stand on the glass and you see all the way down. Many people can't stand on that glass, So you're happy to see it, but you're going to stand there. And somewhere in China, they will have a whole bridge like that over the mountain. That thing, I don't know how many feet in the sky. And then the bridge made out of glass. When you walk in, you're walking like an air, like. Scary. So it is amazing, but at the same time, scary. So Arjuna is like, Bhayena devi, Bhayena cha, Pravititam mano me. But it instills fear in my heart. Tadeva me darshaya deva rupam. Prasida devesha jagan nivasa. But even though the fear, he's expressing his fear now, how this vision has shaken his foundations, at the same time, the reverence from his heart is not going away. Jagan nivasa, you are the one in whom the whole world reposes. The whole world is there, as though floating in you. Because whatever we see as manifested world has to be floating in Bhagavan only, isn't it? Where to be? Bhagavan is there beyond the space and beyond the earth and sun and everything. So everything has to be floating in, but like let's say the earth is floating in the sky. And the suns and all that. Right? So where the sky is all floating now? In Bhagavan, na? Jagan Nivasa, that is the meaning of the word. Prasida. Oh Deva. Oh God. Isha. Lord. How many names is he calling him now? Isha means the rule of the universe. Tadeva me darshaya deva rupa. Now I want you to give me that other vision. Because this vision has bewildered my mind. I want you to give me that other vision. Which other vision? Kiritinam gadinam chakrahastam ichhamitvam dashtumaham tatheva. I want you to show me that vision of you with wearing that crown, with that jewel in the front there, holding that gada and that discus. Ichhamitvam dashtumaham tatheva. I want to see that form. Tena eva rupena chaturbhujena, with 4 arms. That form. Sahasrabaho bhava vishwamu. I know you are 1,000-armed. Now I know you are Sahasrabaho. Sahasrabaho means 1,000 armed. I know, I've seen now, but enough. Let me see the 4 arm. I could manage with 4. I could manage with 4 arm. You know, this 1,000-arm business and all that thing scared me. So, let me just see 4. I want to see you in that form. So Arjuna begs, Prasida, please be gracious. Prasida. Tulsidaji likes this word Prasida. Please be gracious, be gracious, be gracious. Prasida, Prasida, Prabhu. Pahi Mam. Tulsidaji writes many places in Ramayana. Prasida, please be gracious. And anytime anybody start quarreling in the house and all next time, Prasida, Prasida. Now you know what to say, you see. You could talk in Sanskrit to them. Sanskrit words have more power, you know. You tell them Prasida, Prasida. Not the power of the word only go stop him. The confusion also go stop him. Stop the other person. What you say? Prasida, Prasida. No, when he tells Bhagavan this thing, now see, it is also, you know, when the devotee is in distress, Bhagavan acts immediately. But in this case, Bhagavan will act tomorrow in Charleville.